Hey y'all, I'm Kelsey Kalor. Welcome back to my channel, and I'm here to give y'all the latest news in astrology. We got like a list of things going on in astrology right now. We have a retrograde, and we have, of course, the new moons and the full moons that I gotta give to you. And also we have another alignment in the universe with Venus and Jupiter. So just stay tuned. And also, if you're new to my channel, go ahead and hit the subscribe button if you want to stay in touch with the latest news, or if you want to get some information about anything, the zodiacs, the signs, the planets. I know all of it. Okay, so look, I just want to jump into it. So we're gonna cover what's in this month of May, with Pluto going retrograde, new moon in Taurus. Then we have Taurus season, so that means that the sun is transiting into the Taurus zodiac. And then we have Venus and Jupiter, and also full moon in Scorpio. For some reason, Scorpio has a notorious reputation to it, but I'm gonna break it down to you. They're not so bad, but you just stay tuned. Okay, let me get comfortable. All right, May 2nd to October 11th, we have Pluto going into retrograde, which is today. So let's talk about what Pluto represents in our solar system. Pluto, the planet, it represents basically the dark sides of your personality, or in your life, or just everyday life. It rules intensity. It represents transformation and regeneration. On another note, it also represents death. And death doesn't exactly always mean the actual version of it, but even when you're doing tarot card readings or any signs that represent some type of death, it really can indicate something that you are working on removing out of your life, shedding some layers, something that is old and you've outgrown, kind of like watching a snake shed its layers. Like, there's some things in your life that you might have been blessed with, but over time it's became toxic or too intense, too much, and you just have to just remove it just so that you can allow other blessings to come into your life. It would be lovely for things to just stay the same, but I think some people can't handle things being so repetitive or predictable all the time. So we have certain planets in our universe that represent changes or transformations. So let's just jump into it. Pluto is going retrograde May 2nd to October 11th. That's gonna be a really long time. Look, May, June, July, August, September, October. So that's 6 months. Pluto retrogrades half of every year. I wish that it would do it a little less, but good thing it's not a planet that you see so vividly. Instead, you notice certain changes or things going on during Pluto retrograde, more so in the subconscious realm, or the mindset realm, or subtle patterns that you pay attention to in the real world. So it's not nothing that's just bold and just like outrageous, So to add on to what Pluto represents, it rules transformation, regeneration, your obsessions, and control issues. So Pluto can be known as the ego killer or the karmic teacher. When it transits in your astrology chart forming a square or a conjunction with another planet, you can experience power struggles, toxicity, control issues, or uncover some bad secrets in your relationships. When Pluto goes into retrograde, though, it challenges you to check and ideally address your own toxic, negative, and self-destructive patterns and belief systems. So during this period, it's best to go forward in resolving these compulsive behaviors or addictions. So as Pluto started approaching its retrograde, you might have started experiencing intense emotions or new thoughts about getting rid of certain habits, something deep-seated that is secretive to you. Maybe you don't think it's necessarily secretive, but you do. It's probably a part of yourself that you do keep to yourself, and you just all of a sudden thought about just removing it, or giving it a little bit more flexibility. Or you might have been triggered by somebody or something that made you realize something about yourself that made you have to reevaluate what you stand for and if you're standing in your truth. So this transit is also about coming into the parts of ourselves that we have difficulty accepting, so that we can reclaim every power of who we are. So with Pluto being the ruler of Scorpio, those two aspects remind us on how to keep it real with your feelings, with your emotions. Like, they're just as necessary. And I think a lot of us, especially in these days, we tend to put our mind before our feelings a lot of the times. And that isn't really healthy, you know. And we already talk about mental health. You don't want to damage your mental health at all. And it all starts with your emotions and your psyche. You got to check it and be real with yourself. So with Pluto retrograding in Capricorn this year, issues with reputation, authoritative positions, and structure will likely be considered to purge. When it comes to Capricorn energy, we're talking about the obsessive and controlling side of it when it comes to Pluto in retrograde. So Pluto rules the darker side of people or signs. So with it being located in Capricorn constellation this year and for the next 14 years, this energy, wherever you are having a stronghold on being overly structured or controlling, or having a sense of authority over too much of it, then this is probably a time where it's nudging you to like loosen your grip a little bit and learn how to be flexible, because that's the opposite of structure. That's the opposite of Capricorn energy. Capricorn doesn't like to flex nothing. The only thing it likes to flex is its position, is its career, okay? But that's all great and all, but life is going to need a bit more, it's gonna have to remind it to be a little bit more organic. Okay, so that's all I gotta say about Pluto going into retrograde. Now I wanna talk about the sign of Taurus. We are going into the new moon in Taurus and the sun sign in Taurus. So anytime we are about to go into a new season, aka sun season, we're also going into the new moon season, and those two are going to be in the same signs as each other. So that's why we call it a Taurus season or Scorpio season or something like that. So in a lot of my videos, I'll explain what new moon means or full moons mean. So when it comes to new moon, we're talking about strong intentions for new beginnings. You're probably on the verge of starting something new or releasing something. Now, in regards to new moon moving into Taurus, it's going to be new beginnings, the startings of something new, or releasing. These next 4 weeks are all about giving attention to your self-worth and to strictly prioritize what's your value and standing your ground. Because, Taurus energy is about staying power or standing power. Like, they don't budge for nothing, and that's why they're called stubborn people. But it's because they know what their worth is, and there's no right or wrong, but they think it's right for them or wrong for them, and they gonna stay that. So have trust in yourself to stay the course despite any setbacks, and dedicate yourself to reaching your desired goal or your milestones. What all this means for us is to realign ourselves, to focus this energy and attention towards what we really want to manifest in our life for the next 6 months. So find a way to ground your confidence and take steady steps towards reclaiming who the fuck you are. That's pretty much what Taurus energy is. It's steady, it's determined at the same time, and it's focused. It's an earth energy. Or earth signs typically are signs that focus on external subjects. Not only, they can be deep, but they have a value and interest towards external things. All right, now let's chit chat about what Taurus season is coming up with this year. So when it comes to the sun sign, our sun is traveling into Taurus May 14th. And what the sun represents in astrology is your strong interests and milestones. Better yet, this means your experiences, what is showing up in your face. Because that's what the sun is. The sun is bold, the sun is like, look at me, that type of energy. So with sun traveling into Taurus, what this represents is that this energy can boost your sense of determination, of course, and your security. I think that Taurus energy is the energy where we kind of remind ourselves like, okay, let me take a steady approach to this. I mean, if you're a Taurus, you're already doing this. They seem to be, have a steadier approach to when it comes to something that they want. I mean, they're focused, but they take a slower approach to it. Now let's move forward with the ruling planets of Taurus and Libra, of course. So May 19th to the 27th, we have Venus and the conjunction of Jupiter. Venus rules attraction, it rules personal relationships, peace, harmony, balance, and of course everybody's favorite, money. So with Jupiter represents growth, luck, expansion, your sense of faith, and your wisdom. So if we were to put these two things together, with them meeting in the sky within Taurus, that's when it's going to happen. It's going to be in Taurus as well. There's a lot happening with Taurus for some reason. With these two planets, we can expect financial or material expansions with effortless work. There might be a sense of peace and knowledge when it comes to your your sense of security. Maybe attracting many material things. Another example could be your sense of worth could be acknowledge and attract others. So this could go hand in hand. There could be an expansion of boyfriends and girlfriends, or there could be an attraction to knowledge, empowerment. But I can only really say if you consider checking out your natal chart. And in case you want an astrology reader to clarify that to you, hit me up. I'm gonna put my information below or on the last slide. So just stay tuned. Okay. Now, let's talk about Scorpio. Ooh. The mysterious and secretive and sensual Scorpio. So we have a full moon coming in Scorpio. What this rules are, well, what full moon alone represents are your emotions are heightened around this time. So when we approach May 23rd, so roughly around May 20th, we're gonna experience heightened emotions. And these heightened emotions could also bring strong intentions being recognized, strong need to end something and or finish something or conclude something in regards to intimacy, self-trust, and secrecy, which represents Scorpio. Now, Scorpio full moon is a time to consider what you might do if you act more with your heart than your head, because these are emotional creatures. This axis of Taurus, opposite of Scorpio in astrology, because they are sister signs, has to do with life and death, as well as growth and decay. Taurus, like I said, it's more about life. It's more about being here on Earth, whereas Scorpio is the time where you release something, you make something anew, you regenerate something, like what's that bird? A phoenix. Now, Scorpio's about confronting your deepest emotions and healing them by transforming any energy, emotion, or behavior that you have. The energy of Scorpio is a constellation that reminds you that you can turn your darkness into light and healing from your most painful wounds by turning them into wisdom and strength. And there's some people that just don't know how to do that. I guess that's why Scorpio constellation is so small compared to all the other constellations in our axis. But seriously, like, I think some people prey on external things a little too much. Like, if you're gonna go within, learn how to release your built up animosities, or learn how to heal from your darknesses. You have to. Like, you can't move forward gracefully in the way that you truly want if you're holding on to these dark aspects of yourself, or if you're just not turning them into something else. And at least the best you could do is turning it into wisdom and your sense of strength. One thing that I can say about some people are that those people who are working off of their trauma or kind of living in it, a lot of them want to. And that just might be an unpopular thing to say, but my thing is beware of those people, because those people tend to be toxic. They express themselves, some of them express themselves like they don't want toxicity in their life, they don't want this and that. But if you're living in that darkness all the time and you're not actually working on healing it. Look, nobody's expecting you to change overnight. That's inhumane. But it's about your efforts, and like we're talking about right now, it's about your intentions. Do you want to be this toxic person or not? All I'm saying is it's time to shed those layers that are not working for you. It's outgrown, or you're causing people to outgrow you because you're living in this energy that it's not serving them, and it's hurting them more than anything, because just we're a forward moving community, and you got to get with the shits. This energy there won't be any need to analyze your feelings about the issue, because you're just gonna prolong it and continue the same cycle like a broken record. It's time to get real with yourself, babe, and do something different about it, because whatever you were doing before obviously isn't working. So go ahead and just free yourself of it. And that way you won't complain, you won't be a bitter bitch anymore. Look, I'm not talking about nobody specific. I just know energies are like that, because I don't have time for it sometimes. So I want y'all to stay tuned for the next video that I have coming up. We're gonna be jumping into the zodiac, Gemini, new moon, sun sign, and also full moon in Sagittarius. But also we have another retrograde. Oh my God. Okay, that's all, folks. I'm glad you stuck it out and tuned in, and I will see you for the next video that I have coming up. Also, this is just a quick reminder, go ahead and like and subscribe to my channel, and be updated for my next videos. Also, I've never just mentioned this in my astrology videos before, but go ahead and check out my art. Use my name, Kelsey Galore, to check out my Instagram or my Facebook. Yeah. All right. Well, thanks, y'all.